Hi folks, how you doing? This is Sergio speaking in Cancun. I'm right now at the shop at Collision Fix Express in Cancun, Mexico. This is the shop where I'm working on this project. First of all, I'd like to say I'm not a native speaker, an English native speaker, and I may sound a little bit off at times, or some technical words might not come out as I wish. But well, I'm giving it my best shot. I do speak the language, but not that often. So I'll tell you a little bit. The reason I'm doing this video is because I want to show with you what I'm doing with my Maverick. This video is mainly meant to show the guys at the Maverick and Comet forums what my progress is, because I started a thread about a couple years ago, and I promised I would post some updates, but I didn't. So this video is precisely to do that. So why I decided to do this with my Maverick is the question that I am asked all the time. And the reason is very simple. I wanted to have a fuel injected machine on my Maverick, and everything started from that point on. I thought I would just get the engine from a Thunderbird or a Mustang or any of those cars from the 90's, probably even a newer one, and then just take the engine, the harness, and the ECU, and transplant everything onto the Maverick. But then, as soon as I got the first donor car, which was a '91 Thunderbird, I started realizing that there were many other goodies that I would like to have on my Maverick, such as the suspension. I first realized the front suspension was sturdier, a lot heavier than the Mavericks, and I started toying with the idea of transplanting the suspension as well. One of my friends said that I was demented. I was seriously crazy if I thought I could transplant the whole suspension onto the Maverick, and that I'd probably end up killing myself one of these days. But I started taking measures, a lot of measures, and more and more I started to convince myself that I could do it. Even if it was challenging, I thought I could do it. Then I discovered the rear suspension. I didn't know at that time that the Thunderbirds and Cougars of the 90's were independent rear suspension. So when I found out it was an IRS back there, I was delighted. I was convinced that I would like to have that suspension in my Maverick as well. Then my friend said, confirmed, you're crazy, because you can't take both suspension systems from that car and then transplant them onto your car without serious risks and probably even legal problems. So I started toying around with the idea and asking myself how I could do it. And then I decided that the best way to do it was just take the floor pan, the whole floor pan, slice it off like you would, I don't know, a cake, and slice off the parts that you don't need, and then keep the only ones that you would like to have on your car. So that was the whole floor pan, the firewall as well, the wheel wells, of course, and that's how it started. I knew that transplanting the body of the Maverick onto this new floor would be very challenging, because panel alignment is not that easy, and fenders and the hood wouldn't really, I mean, it would be a hassle to have everything work out as expected. And well, I'm very happy to tell you that I'm about 65% advanced right now. I think I'm beyond the point where you can say the project will be finished, and I'd like to show you what I've done so far. So here you can see the Maverick, and well, I'll give you a little tour around the car. First off, let me tell you about the hood. As you can see, it's aligned the way it is supposed to. The alignment is all right, and I decided to change the way it opens, and it now opens this way. I hope I can do it on my own, because I need some help for this. Okay, this is how it opens now. I used the original hinges from the Maverick. Let me go around here. These are the original hinges from the Maverick. I've made a few modifications here Here's the gas springs from the Cougar that I used as a platform. It was a Cougar, not really a Thunderbird. That's the Cougar suspension down there. And this is the engine bay, not a Maverick, as you can see. That's the engine bay of the Cougar. I wasn't really thrilled about having to change the hinges so that the hood would open this way, because I wanted to keep this Maverick as stock as possible. But if I place the hinges here where they originally are placed, that would mean sacrificing that space there. That's where the air conditioner lives. And over there, if I place the original hinge in there, I would be creating a lot of problems for the master cylinder for the clutch system. So that's the reason I decided to change the hinges this way. And it turned out great. It opens really well, and it looks sporty. Some will love it, others will hate it, I know. But well, it works. I had to widen the fenders, as you can see here. I had to widen them about 1.5 inches. The doors are already in place. They open and close as expected. Alignment is alright as well. Here you can see it. That's the floor pan. Again, it's not the Mavericks but the Cougar. At the very end over there, you can see the white part belongs to the firewall of the Cougar, and this long column here is a patch, a metal patch that I did to close the gap between that green part from the Maverick and the firewall from the Cougar. That's a big patch I did. It was, of course, on both sides, and there was some reinforcement as well in the middle. That's the back part already. I know it's all full of dirt, but well, that's what it looks at this point. This modification, again, some will like it and some will hate it. That's the gas. Sorry if you don't like it, but I thought it was functional. Here's the back part. Fender is already in place. I mean, sorry, the bumper, not the fender. The bumper is already in place. This door already opens again and closes. Well, at this point, what I'm doing is welding this whole area here, because as you may know, the distance between axles, sorry, I don't know what you say that in English, but the distance between the rear axle and the front axle is 25 centimeters longer, bigger in the Thunderbird, so I had to reduce that by 20 centimeters, and I had to overlap the floor right there. So that's what I'm doing. I'm welding that right now. And well, this back here is the car which was supposed to be the donor. It's a 3.8 supercharged 91 Thunderbird. I thought it was the ideal engine, but then I found out it has lots of problems. This particular engine had a lot of problems because the previous owner didn't use coolant but water, and it ruined the internals. And then I learned that the engine was not that, I'd say, trustworthy or dependable. That's the word. It's not as dependable as the other ones. I may be wrong, but that's what I've read in forums about these cars. The donor is going to be that Thunderbird back there. That's a 94 Thunderbird. It's a 4.6 engine, naturally aspirated. I may place 2 turbos in the future, but that's not the objective right now. And back there you can see my friend's 1972 LDO Maverick. We built it completely. We tore it apart and then rebuilt it. That was about 7 years ago, and that's what my project will end up looking like. We used Standox for the paint. It was high quality paint, and well, that's probably what my car will look like. Well, I'll keep you posted and tell you about my project later, and I hope you like this one. And well, have a great day, everybody.